Hi there, Agile friends. Get ready for the World Tour of Agile at the Agile Online Summit 2023. You can join us from October 24th to 26th for a global showcase of cutting-edge Agile practices and insights. Join us at agileonlinesummit.com. This year, we will be featuring some of the best work done around the world and world-class keynotes. You can check all of that at agileonlinesummit.com. But the best part is that your ticket is on us. That's right, it's free to attend and immerse yourself in the world of Agile excellence. Don't miss out on this opportunity to level up your skills and network with peers and industry experts. Mark your calendars and secure your spot at AOS 23 today by visiting agileonlinesummit.com. So get your free ticket or opt for the full digital pass that lets you keep all the conference videos forever and organize, why not, Agile learning sessions at work. You can get the full digital access at agileonlinesummit.com. I'll see you in the conference floor. Hello everybody, welcome to our Friday Product Owner and TGIF episode this week with Toby Rao. Hey Toby, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy Friday, Vasco.
Absolutely.
Nice to be here.
Likewise. Happy Friday. And of course, Friday is Product Owner Day here on the podcast. And we want to dive into what might a great product owner look like. But before that, do share with us what was potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career?
So I would say the biggest anti-pattern for a product owner is not being available to the team. And I've seen this happen a lot of times because in some of the teams and organizations where I've worked, product owner was not a full-time job. They had another daytime job, and part of their job was to be a product owner. So they kind of somehow felt that once the daily stand-up or whatever event was happening for the day, after that, they can just go back to the day job and not be available. Don't answer phone calls, don't respond to if somebody pings them on a chat application like Teams. So that was the problem. The big anti-pattern is not being available, either to solve problems or give guidance, etc.
So in that example that you have in mind, like how did you help that product owner and that team? And sometimes it's not possible to help, of course, but how did you help the organization solve that problem of the absent product owner?
So I had in one of my early career projects, there was a product owner who was similar to this story, that example that I gave, where this is a part-time job. So I'm just going to call this person Dave, the product owner Dave, for the story. So Dave had a full-time job and was some time from his work was carved out to be a product owner, because this person was the subject matter expert in that particular area. Had no experience with Agile, had actually never worked with software development teams, had immense knowledge about the product and what the business, where they want to go. He was also a very, very vocal person and lacked emotional intelligence in certain ways. It would actually scream at people, if they don't agree with them. So that was the problem, was never available, whether you send emails or try to call them. The way this problem was handled at that time was I invited him to come and spend one day with the team. So this person, Dave, he actually made appointments and appointment with us, and we all blocked our time with. So we spent the whole day with him. We went out for lunch. He attended all of our events, and he saw firsthand, where the team was lacking some of this information. Dave was more used to ways of working where they gave the information and the requirements, and after 3 or 4 months, people would come up with something that was developed, and
usually
really
an excuse for why they were late.
Yeah, and really didn't understand. I already told you what I want. Like, why do I have to be with the team so much? So they didn't realize the way the team was working. And when also did not like that the team was showing him like proof of concept, or this is what the product might look like, would get upset and scream at people. It says, don't bother me, don't disturb me, just show me when it's done. But over a period of time, when Dave started providing more time to the people, started being more available, and really understood where the questions were coming up, and started seeing, like the first prototype and the second prototype and the third prototype, which were interactive and actually played with the system, and actually was able to give feedback to the team, really helped the team become so much better. And as a product owner, Dave grew professionally over a period of time.
Of course,
But that
because
all
that
started with
interaction with the team
problems. Yeah,
gave them a completely different perspective as well.
absolutely.
Great story. And of course, sometimes things don't end up well, but we need to try. So
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing that story. And the next one is hopefully a completely different example, an example of a great product owner. So Toby, share that with us.
Sure. So very recently, actually, I worked with a product owner, which I made it so enjoyable for the whole team. And honestly, if I try to understand what made this product owner um, so amazing to work with, was, I think, couple of things, examples I would give is that the person was very easy to work with. Like, there was no power trip, there was no power dynamic, and really acted as a partner. um, would 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 come to all the events on time, would schedule one-on-ones to go over if people had any questions. So very collaborative, and as I said, very easy to work with. One of the things that I noticed with this particular product owner was that always, as I said that I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, seek to understand first. So this particular product owner always seeked, right? Seeked is the right word, to understand where the problem is, what the challenges are. Also always try to explain to the team members from a persona perspective. So had created set personas for different parts of the system that actual users are going to use. And instead of answering the question, a lot of times this product owner would say, okay, so Ralph, the auditor, what how do you think that they're going to react to this particular screen, for example? So instead of giving the answers, really helped the team understand from Ralph's perspective. So Ralph is the person is using that part of the system, or Mary, who's using another part of the system. How do you think they're going to interact with each other? What information will they look for? So that, to me, was like, wow, because you are actually helping the team think from Mary's or Ralph's perspective, and that'll end up in a better design of the system, right? And then prioritization. So an area where a lot of product owners don't do so well is to prioritize the right way. So one is, economic prioritization. Second is really understanding sequencing and prioritization and how they go hand in hand. A lot of product owners just prioritize, but they don't think from a developer's perspective. It's like saying, right, hey, I have the hood up, I'm changing the fan belt, might as well change the gasket. Right. So changing the gasket may not be a priority, but if a product owner understands from the team's perspective how they work and empathize with them, they say, you know what? Although this is a lower priority, changing the gasket makes sense now, because if we had to do it 5 months down the road, it's a lot more work, a lot more testing after that. So really having that open-mindedness to work with the team on things of that nature.
And accepting that the team can bring things that are important for their own decision making, right? It's not me
Absolutely.
as the PO dictating solutions, it's us collaborating on finding those solutions.
Absolutely. And one thing that I learned from this product owner is the power of pre-refinement. So a lot of teams do the whole refinement with the whole team being there, and a lot of times they are like just simple statements that they start with, and they actually write the stories. A lot of teams I've seen do that um, with the team. So this product owner, what used to work with some would pick couple of people in that particular segment of the work and say, hey, what can we do to kind of pre-populate this and then bring it to the team, and then we can poke holes into it or understand what the acceptance criteria needs to be, and work with the team over that. So instead of starting with a blank sheet of paper, they put some serious thought into it without really solutioning the problem, but at least deep diving into what problem are we trying to solve and how do we know that it is done. So doing that a little ahead of time really helped with the efficiency as well. And after working with this product owner and seeing this work, I have, I've also started to encourage other product owners to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. A great story and lots of great insights that we can use. And why not get your product owner to listen to this episode with yourself and learn together? Toby, we're getting close to the end, but before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Absolutely. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, Toby V. Rao. Um, why don't I also send you, Vasco, a link to my website that you can put probably on the podcast so they can reach to me. Absolutely. And I'm happy to talk to anyone. So please do connect and learn from each other.
Absolutely. We'll put the links on the show notes. And everybody, why not ask a few follow-up questions from Toby? He's on LinkedIn, so easy to find. Toby, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you, Vasco.
One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over, but there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast hosts, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. So join us at scrummasterpodcast.com and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more full week of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.